Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining our weekly holistic pet health coaching call. I'm Delora, and I am substituting for Dr. Ruth. She is taking a well-deserved personal break this week. Today we're talking with Melissa Zollers, one of our graduates, and we'll also review some of our cases posted onto social media. So today, Melissa is going to share her incredible journey towards holistic health. I'm going to read this. Having battled anxiety and OCD for a significant period, she sought help from traditional medical avenues only to find limited solutions in prescription medications. Frustrated with the lack of progress, Melissa turned to holistic health modalities, experiencing transformative results. We love that. Welcome, Melissa. So tell me more about your experiences and why you became a health coach.
Yep. So like you said, I suffered from OCD and anxiety from the age of 14, probably into my 30s. I tried all of the typical avenues, prescription medications and things like that, and really didn't find anything that helped until I started to take care of myself, mind, body, and spirit through yoga, meditation. And as I started to incorporate those things into my life, naturally, I started to want to eat better and just take better care of myself. And before I knew it, all of those symptoms had vanished. And it wasn't because of prescription medications or, anything like that. It was just through taking care of myself through natural means. And then I started to notice the same thing is happening, in the pet industry. I had 2 cats and they became ill, and it was one prescription medication after another, and they just weren't getting better. I lost those 2 cats, unfortunately, during COVID, and then adopted my dog, Scooby, the love of my life. And he was a shelter dog. And so whenever I got him, he was on kibble, and he was scratching and biting at his paws, poor fur coat. And I started thinking, why don't I start to address these issues the same way that I address them with myself? And started feeding him whole foods, incorporating some herbs, and then the itchiness and the biting and everything went away. And I knew that there was a need for, holistic pet health. And I just started seeking it out. And I found Dr. Ruth Roberts' website and Dr. Judy Morgan and Karen Becker, and just started learning all of these things. And then one day I saw a post from Dr. Ruth Roberts about her pet health coach program. And I just knew in my gut that this was something that I needed to do. Yeah. I was on the fence about it for a while. And then finally I just dove right in. And I'm so happy that I did.
Oh yeah. It's crazy. You can either feel it in your head, in your heart, or in your stomach. Whenever you read something like that, it's like, ding.
Yep.
So folks out there, if you're watching and if you are on the fence about becoming a pet health coach, we'd love to have you as a colleague. It's changed my life. What about you?
Yes, absolutely. I've been looking for some way that I can give back and to provide purpose in my life. And this is it. I just love it. And since I've graduated, I've done even more. I got certified in pet CPR and first aid, and I'm currently in a certification program for pet nutrition as well. So this was just the beginning for me, for sure.
It's definitely a passion.
Yeah, definitely.
So you work full time now?
Yes. Well, so I have a regular 9-to-5 job. So I am doing this on the side currently. My goal is to retire early and then do this full time, in retirement. So this is kind of my retirement plan, you could say.
Absolutely. Me too. I gave notice to my corporate job till the end of the year. And so, yeah, I'm really scared, but because I am not entrepreneurial at all, but I just am and so passionate about pet health and how to keep them healthy. And
Yes.
the vet shortage is just going to get worse. So
Yep.
we're really needed.
Yes, we do.
So what are you doing to build your client base?
I'm starting with just friends and family, helping them out. And I've made a lot of connections on social media. And hopefully, word of mouth will help as well. And I'm also starting to attend, pet related events, things with, rescue organizations, charity events. I was just at the Pet Expo this weekend, and just, networking that way.
Fantastic. So do you feel like that when you're talking to people, do they need to be holistic minded in the first place to be able to take on some of these concepts?
Yes and no. Whenever I'm talking to people, I'm trying to meet them where they're at,
Good.
and not, go all in with it, because it can be overwhelming. And sometimes I do want to share everything with everyone, and I have to kind of, pull it back a little bit and just see what they are open to, and
Absolutely.
kind of start there.
Great. Because there is so much we can do to help. Now, as
Oh yeah.
holistic pet health coach, we work with a veterinarian's treatment and diagnosis. But what we do is we support the body in the background. So say you've got a dog that is really itchy and it's on Apoquel. Well, we know that Apoquel is an immune suppressant. So that is actually making the problem worse, but the Apoquel treats the symptoms and it really, really helps. So if you have a dog that is in just scratching themselves bloody, let's do the conventional medicines. And in the background, we're able to recommend lifestyle, supplementation, and food to help nourish the body and hopefully get off of that Apoquel after a little while and go after the symptoms. So if you guys are experiencing some difficult cases, and we'll get into some difficult cases here shortly, a pet health coach is a way to go to be a great liaison between your vet and what you do at home, because all of the stuff is what you can do at home. So do you have any success stories you can share with us?
I did have a friend of mine who had a pet, who was hospitalized with potential kidney stones. And I was able to provide her with supportive information once the cat came home, on ways to change the diet to support the kidneys. And the cat is doing a lot better now. So.
Oh, fantastic. So what is your number one recommendation when talking to pet parents?
I would have to say diet. That's the first thing. As Dr. Ruth says, you can't outpill a bad diet.
Yes.
So really that's the first thing is to address the diet.
Absolutely. So we know that kibble is processed with high heat and it removes the nutrients. I kind of compare it to enriched white bread, because the nutrients are pulled out, and then once it's cooked at a high heat, they have to add the nutrients back in synthetically, and that's why they call it enriched. So that's the way kibble is. It is. I also like to refer to it as a dead food. Our living bodies need living food, which is fresh, minimally processed food, either raw or lightly cooked. I tend to go with lightly cooked, especially if you have a pet with some health issues. It is true that raw diets do have a higher nutrient profile, but if you have a pet that's struggling taking on their nutrients, the cooking process starts the digestive process and allows the nutrients to be taken on a little easier. So that's why I'm kind of in the cooked camp. That is my human health coach talking as well. We don't want to eat, as humans, we don't want to eat a lot of raw foods. I mean, they're great and wonderful and they feed the microbiome, but if you're suffering from some health issues, then try cooked food. And another interesting thing, I'm just learning stuff all the time. It's wonderful. That I learned, and it's gonna be like duh, but it just dawned on me that when reading an article that, oh my goodness, so dogs' microbiomes are the closest to humans than any other mammal, simply because they've been eating our cooked food for tens of thousands of years. Right. So if you were to work with a pet health coach, you would, we do a lot of human supplements, and that's why, because they're very similar to us. And that's probably why they can read our minds, because our gut bacteria, it has a lot, there's a good brain connection there. So, well, do you have anything else you'd like to share with us before we start talking about some cases?
Just if you're on the fence about joining the program, I say go for it. One of the things that I was concerned about was the support afterwards. You're providing information to pet parents and you don't want to give them bad information or anything like that. But when I found out that, one, throughout the whole program, you have a mentor that you can go to and ask questions and get advice from. Michael Daly was my mentor. He was fantastic. And then after the program ends, you continue to have the ability to get on coaching calls with Dr. Ruth and to get her expert opinion. And the support that you receive during and after is just fantastic. And when I heard that, that was really the thing that sealed the deal for me. And I have not regretted, taking this program at all. Even if you don't plan to do this as a career, having this information allows you to make informed health decisions for your pets. I know whenever my pets would see a veterinarian, they would give me this diagnosis, I had no idea what they were talking about. Now I do. And so we're advocates for our pets, and we need to, it just helps you to be able to make those informed decisions. And that really changes the game. And just gives you peace of mind. So do it. If you're thinking about it, just do it.
Just do it. I totally agree. And you'll become a group of turbo pet nuts. So you'll be a really good company.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, let's switch over. I'm going to put on my glasses and share my screen real quick. Let's see here. I'm going to do a window. Okay. I hope people can see my screen. Let me double check here. I don't see it. It says stop screen. Can you see my screen? Melissa, there it is.
Yep, there it is.
Okay, cool. Just took a second. Okay, cool. So I'm going to go over here. So we're going to start first. We have a community in a web-based application called Circle. And it's a free community. You can come in and you get more focused attention from the pet health coaches when you post a question in here. So we're going to start here. We have a question about organic and pasture-raised foods for dogs. I love this question. How do you respond to that, Melissa?
I say if you have the ability to do it, go for it. I try to purchase all organic foods for myself and for my dog Scooby. So if you have the ability and the means to do it, then absolutely.
Absolutely. I agree. So there is a group called the Environmental Working Group, and they have the Clean 15 and Dirty Dozen. It's ewg.org, I think is the website. And if you're trying to be economical, then consult that website and you can see the produce that is very
Cocktails,
heavily, yes, yeah, heavily used with that's
pesticides. Yeah.
thank you. That. And so you can be a little economical, and the don't do and then the can do is very helpful.
Right.
So
That's a
we
good suggestion.
yeah, I use it all the time because they update it really, really quickly. And now we have Carla's response here, and she took a lot of great time with it. I think Carla is an aspiring health coach because look at all of this. Girl, you need to come on. And then we had a response from one of our pet health coaches that we prefer the organic pasture raised, grass fed, and finished. However, I have to do what I can afford to do, and so I go to Costco and try to get the organic stuff. But anything that you can do is better than manufactured foods.
Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely. Typically, the manufacturer foods gets the worst of the foods. They get the kibbles and bits from the meat processing plants. They get the leftover, the bad sweet potatoes, and so if you're choosing your meats and vegetables, no matter if it's organic or not, that is so much better than what they're going to get from most manufacturers. One of the bigger manufactured foods. There's some really great options coming online because people are realizing that kibble is so inflammatory. So we're really happy with some of the options that are coming along because convenience is helpful. Cooking for your pet or feeding raw or making your own raw is very time consuming, but those of us who have been through it realize that nothing is for free, even our health. So we've got to put in the time and the energy to cultivate our health. So that get off the soapbox.
Yeah. And once you start, doing the homemade food, you start to learn little tips and tricks to make it easier. You can use, what I like to do is I like to just buy everything at once. I'll buy like 4 or 5 different proteins, a bunch of different vegetables, cut it all up, and then I'll just make one batch after another and do that over one weekend, and then I'm good for a good month. So there's ways to make it easier. You just have to get started, and then the rest will come.
It is, and I love the fact I love doing stuff with my hands, and I love the fact that when I'm making my girl's food, that I am doing my very best that I can for her, because that is the number one thing. Number one, just flat out, number one thing you can do to help your pet. And I understand that there's the convenience and then there's the cost. So you just do what you can.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah. So let's move on. There's a great blog from Dr. Ruth about dogs drinking vegetable broth. They think it's delicious. We also have little games on our Circle community pages. And this is a great download from Dr. Ruth, When Not to Go to the ER Vet. Lots of great tips there on things you can do at home to avoid going to the ER vet. I tell you, Hazel got leptospirosis back in 2021. And when she couldn't use her back legs, which was on a Sunday, I took her to the emergency vet. They saved her life, but 3 days and $5,000 later, I had to take her to the vet then. But this document is really helpful so you can make that decision. Okay, moving on. Let's see. Another game, a word search. That was pretty fun. Oh, I saw sweet potato, right? And green beans. I'm not going to solve the whole puzzle here, but yeah, that was pretty fun. Time. Okay, come on, Delora. Let's see. Bonnie has 2 standard schnauzers, 12 and 14. One is having digestive problems, has not had it before, and they're eating the same food they're eating eaten all of their lives, and I'm up for suggestions. I cook for my dogs. Okay, let's see. We've got some comments here. Do you have a comment for Bonnie, Melissa?
Yeah, I would first say start with the Glacier Peaks test. That can identify any potential food sensitivities. And once you identify what those sensitivities are, then you can start an elimination and rotation diet. Really, variety in the diet is key. That's key to good gut health. So that's where I would start.
Perfect. And I knew we were going to talk about this because it's probably our number 2 recommendation other than fresh food. And I want to show you and everyone. This is Hazel's results from just June this year. You can see here the stressors of food. So whenever I cook her food, you can see here that I don't use any of the grains. I have some nice options with beef and pork and also turkey. Chicken, you'll find chicken is a lot of pets are sensitive to chicken just because it's one of the most popular ingredients in pet food. And in manufactured pet foods, it's one of the poorest farmed in proteins. So you kind of want to stay away from chicken, even if it doesn't show up on the list. And then another really interesting thing is this is a sensitivity test, not an allergy test.
Right.
So there's a huge difference. This is based on hair and saliva. And then a true IgG, IgA sensitivity or allergy test is based on a blood test. So, but this is really helpful to help a pet immune system not flare all the time. You remove the sweet potato, like Hazel can't have sweet potato. You remove the sweet potato, and that allows the pet's immune system to rest. And you give it some other foods that don't make the immune system flare. And also some really interesting chemicals. So that gets us on another subject about environmental. Melissa, how do you want to describe your environmental suggestions?
Environmental, number 1, fragrances. Get the fragrances out of your house. The plugins, the candles, just get it out. That is the number 1 thing. In addition to that, what I like to do is I have air purifiers. I have plants, as you can see. And that just really just helps, clean air in your house and keep things clean. What I've heard works really well is steam mops. If your pet has environmental sensitivities, then a steam mop can be helpful to just really get things clean for them. They're walking around on the floor and, picking everything up that's on the floor. So just keeping things clean and making sure you use cleaning products that are not toxic.
Perfect. I love those suggestions. I have a few more suggestions that are regard EMF, electromagnetic frequencies. Those little smart plugs that are low down on the window or on the wall. They emit frequencies that often dogs can hear. We can't hear them, but dogs can. So if you have, I've heard stories of dogs just starting to act up, or even cats. And then it occurs to the pet parent, oh, we have this new electronic gadget. So keep those away from your pet's bedding. And the laundry detergents. Did you talk about laundry detergents?
Yeah, I said cleaning products, but yeah, laundry detergents included in that for sure.
Yeah. Oh, and the plug-ins. I used to love those. And I
think we all did it once.
Yeah, they made everything smell so nice, but those are synthetic chemicals. If you think about in nature, scents in nature really don't last a long time, except maybe a skunk.
Yeah, the ones you don't want to smell.
The ones you don't want to smell, yeah. So So anything that lasts for a super long time, that's going to be synthetic. It is not natural. And when you are smelling those synthetic molecules, it's going straight into your blood system. If you were to eat toxins, you have the benefit of your liver to try to filter that out a little bit.
Right.
But when you're smelling those things, you know, the really the detergents that smell real strong, and those beads, and just try to avoid that around your pet's bedding, and for yourself, especially if you're not feeling great. Just start limiting the stuff that just like, is this from nature or is it not? And you might start feeling better. Turn off your Wi-Fi at night if you can. That when we're sleeping, our body is repairing itself. So we don't want anything getting in the way of that mechanism at all. And don't eat too late, because, and for pets too.
Right.
Sorry, I'm getting on my human health coach soapbox now. Don't eat too late, because the body is it's not a multitasker. If you are digesting all night long, that's what you're doing, and you're missing out on a great night's sleep and healing process. So, okay, back to Bonnie. It looks like Dr. Ruth took some time to answer as well. So we're going to move on. She's got and Paris answered. Jessica answered. Yeah, this is great. She got Dr. Ruth and 4 pet health coaches. So that was a great.
Couldn't get any better advice than that.
Couldn't get any better advice than that. Let's see. This is Susan, and she's got a German Shepherd. Let's see, what is her issue? Agility is helping her become less afraid and more self-secure. So it looks like she's had 4 comments. Oh, and one from Dr. Ruth as well. So, Susan, the only thing that I'd like to add is that our gut microbiome talks to the brain. So if you have a pet that is reactive, that is scared, that is aggressive, you're going to want to work on gut health. Yeah. And so that means no kibble. That means omega-3s for pain and inflammation, and some probiotics as well. What's your suggestions, Melissa?
Everything that you just said. My dog Scooby, when I first adopted him, he had severe separation anxiety. And when I started to change his diet and started incorporating some of the things that you just mentioned, it was like night and day.
Yeah.
Really.
CBD is also helpful.
Yes.
Some dogs do great on CBD. Some it's like, so that one's 99% effective. So if you don't get immediate results, just keep at it. It's you need to be consistent with the CBD, and that's my issue. Is sometimes I forget.
Yeah,
I'm too tired to get rid of CBD tonight. Okay, so we are going to move on to our Facebook group. So let's get. I'm going to show you guys where the Facebook group is if you haven't already, if you don't know where it is. So it's called the Holistic Pet Health Group. And these are some of our coaches. This is Dr. Ruth. And there I was in wonderful San Diego. It was a wonderful time. And this is Jessica. She's another one of the mentors. And I'm a mentor as well. I forgot to introduce myself as one of the original charter graduates of the program over a year ago. And I'm a course mentor as well. So, and I'm real sad that I didn't get Melissa, but Michael is awesome. So you benefited from that for sure. Let's see. So what we're going to do is go to some of these questions. Now, if folks, if you have joined us today from this Holistic Pet Health Group, make sure before you post your questions, do hashtag ask Dr. Ruth, because I have, oops, not there. And not there. Let's let's go to Ask Dr. Ruth.
There you go.
Hashtag Ask Dr. Ruth. We're going to answer those first. Okay, there's Carla. Hello, Carla. If you're watching, I hope you're watching because you need to be a health coach. I know it. So, she has really laid out Luna's case really, really well. She has had some holistic success in her life and done the Chinese medicine. So in the course, you will get a whole module on traditional Chinese veterinary medicine. It's been around probably about 3,000 years, and it is amazingly accurate. They really knew what they were talking about, but in very esoteric ways. It's a little tough to get your head around.
Yeah,
but then every module you're going to have a video on the traditional Chinese veterinary medicine approach. So I'm so glad that Carla brought that up, just so we could plug that bit if you're interested in that. It is really cool, but a lifetime of study.
Yes.
So Carla has she had an environmental allergy test. Came back extremely high, and then looks like she's got some allergies as well. So, and she says, I know medical advice can be given. Perfect. We just recommend what things you can do at home. So do you have some suggestions for Carla?
Yeah, I think we just talked a lot about some of them, environmentally, what you can do in your home. The air filters, getting rid of the plugins, making sure that you're using non-toxic cleaning products and laundry detergents. In addition, I would still do the Glacier Peaks test to identify any other sensitivities, do the elimination and rotation diet to heal the gut and boost the immune system. In addition, Histopause is a product on Dr. Ruth's website that can also be helpful. Here you go. Yep.
Yeah, that's some, and this combination is really great.
Yeah.
The Omega Pause is great for pain and inflammation. The Vitality, the mushroom tinctures. Mushrooms have been scientifically proven to improve the quality and the quantity of gut microbiome. So it is so beneficial for autoimmune disease, for cancer, for brain issues. I mean, everything. Just it's great. And then the Histopause has quercetin and nettles, and there's tons of research on the benefits of quercetin. After the recent pandemic, I don't know if anyone's aware of that, but I'm sure a lot of people know about quercetin because that was thrown around quite a bit.
Yes, it was.
Yeah. So, okay, let's get back. Hopefully I can find the right. Yeah, there it is. So, Carla, work on some gut health. That's our recommendation. And come into the program. Come on, you can do it.
Yeah, the majority, one more point on that, the majority of our immune system is in the gut. So when we talk about gut health, that's, one of the main reasons. And detoxification also happens in the gut. So really that's the key to a lot of things.
Yeah. And inflammation, I would say, is, I'm going to step out on a limb and go, the source of all issues. So what we want to do is do what we can to reduce inflammation. Okay, so we have our next is from Angela, and Angela's awesome that she is a retired functional nutritionist. So she knows what to do. Is already doing some really great things, but let's skip down to what the issue is for Sweet Sam. Let's look at him. Isn't he precious? Wow. Such a handsome boy. He's clearly in severe pain, drooling, and only functioning on Caprofen. I don't know if it's related, but Sam's anal gland also bursts. Oh, poor baby. The vet wants to take out all of his teeth and feels he has a rare autoimmune where he's allergic to his own tartar. The anal gland is almost healed up, but chewing at the base of his tail has him raw and bleeding. He's still being given probiotics. So probiotics is fine if you're seeing good results for that. I recommend that you take a look at oh gosh, where's my words? Gut health,
Yeah,
absolutely,
right.
that autoimmune disease. And then one of our Michael Daly, one of the coaches and mentors, he recommended that you get an X-ray from your vet before you go and have the teeth cleaned. Any recommendations, Melissa?
Yeah, I think Michael also recommended maybe a second opinion.
Okay.
Removing all of the teeth seems a little, drastic, and you would want to prevent that if you can. So a second opinion is always great. And then, reach out and get on a call with one of the holistic health pet coaches so that they can support her, throughout this process. And just support the pet as best you can. Make sure the immune system is good, the gut health is good, and do that through diet, supplementation, and the pet health coaches can help with that.
Great. Well, and I love that you said get a consultation with a pet health coach. I am going to go to Dr. Ruth's site and show everybody how to do that. So you just go to drruthroberts.com. You go to consultation, and you see some information about Dr. Ruth and why you should get a consultation with a pet health coach. And boy, she has a lot. And then she has a list of consultants here. I don't know how I was so lucky to get the first spot, but yes. But you can see we have quite a few to choose from. So just look at the information that they've provided so you can choose one that's best for you. I mean, our colleagues are just growing and growing and growing, and it's so wonderful to have such a great group to support each other and support all the pets and support Dr. Ruth's mission in helping all the pets. So let's get back to where were we? My goodness. Oh yes, Sweet Sam. All right. Did you feel like we helped Sweet Sam there?
I think so.
Okay. I hate this, brokenhearted and exhausted.
Yeah, it's never easy when our babies
are never easy. I know. Well, hopefully we can get Sam back on a healing track. And as a functional nutritionist, Angela, trust your gut. You know what to do about this. And like I said earlier, dogs, their microbiome is so similar to ours. And having my human health coach background, I was shocked, and I shouldn't be. We're all creatures of this earth. So, it was. I just didn't know how to translate the human stuff to the pet stuff. Come to find out, you don't really have to.
Yeah, well, and
there's some exceptions.
We've been scared into believing that we need to do things exactly. Like, if you buy pet food, it's specifically formulated and has all of the necessary nutrients. But that's not necessarily true. Whenever you cook.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Very good point.
Yeah. When you cook at home, you know exactly what's going into the food and providing all the necessary moisture, whereas kibble does not.
Yeah. And people are obsessed that every bite has to be nutritionally complete.
Right.
Do we as humans have every bite that's nutritionally complete? I can tell you after Halloween, every bite was more a piece of candy than anything else. So I'm recovering on that. So I just shared my secrets there. I probably have some stashed around here somewhere. Okay, moving on to Brittany. Let's see. Oh, she has precious tiny chihuahua that has severe environmental eye allergies. She's had an update. She's not going to wait for an appointment. Oh, she couldn't watch him. Oh, she took him to the emergency vet. They did a tear test. Looks like an allergic reaction. Pawing at his eyes. They gave him a shot, ointments for his eyes, and pain meds. So this is a great step, Brittany. Great job for taking him in and getting him immediate relief as the natural remedies take a little bit to take effect. Right. The molecules in a prescription is, it just is focused in, laser focused on its remedy. And there's where the side effects come from. A natural approach where there's no side effects, it takes a while to do. So great job in taking this baby in. Let's see. She has a question for everyone. We're on well water and live in the woods. I'm thinking I need to start giving the dogs bottled water. I would suggest doing, would recommend like a Brita or a Berkey or some sort of reverse osmosis that you remineralize once it's processed. Those are like $200. It's really really great. I have one, and for me and Hazel, I just remineralize it, and that brings up another point. We also want to make sure, especially when you have a pup with or kitty with allergies, you want to make sure that you reduce any plastic exposure.
Oh yeah.
Any treats or not treats, but any toys that have plastic in them, like those Nylabones, are not great. Yeah. And you want to make sure that you feed them from stainless or ceramic. Stainless first. Ceramic holds a little bit of bacteria in it. Yep. But make sure that you're not feeding them out of plastic as well. And that's kind of where I'm going with the bottled water, because a bottled water, and I'm sorry, I just have so much to say. I normally don't talk a whole lot, but you get me on this subject. It's like,
I know.
So bottled water, when you go to the store, and if it goes crack, 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 crack at the store, that is so thinly produced, and it leaches the PFAs, I think PFOAs or something like that, into the water itself, especially if it gets heated in the truck. You have no idea how it was transported there. So if you choose bottled water at the store, make sure it's a nice, thick container. The Smart Waters are a good choice because they've kept their water in a more sturdy container. Glass is even better. Yeah. I live in Arkansas, and we have mountain water, Mountain Spring, that I think is Mountain View, something like that. And it's shipped everywhere in glass bottles. So that one is great. We're really proud of that Arkansas water. Do you have any?
Go find it?
Yes, yeah, they have it at the natural food stores. I think they have it at Whole Foods, and if you have natural grocers or Sprouts or anything like that, I think they carry it there.
Okay. It's I'll have to go look for it.
Yeah, naturally mineralized. It's fantastic. So, kind of went off on a rabbit hole there about plastic. But do you have some suggestions for Brittany on the cute little tiny Chihuahua?
Yeah, I mean, it seems environmental allergies is kind of the theme today, right? Yes. We've had so many. So all of the same suggestions apply, for this one.
Yeah.
Get on Whole Foods, do the Glacier Peaks test, identify those sensitivities, eliminate whatever she's sensitive to from her diet, and these supplements that are on the screen here are fantastic as well.
Yeah. Great. All right. So let's move on. We're getting close to being finished, but we've got a few more to go. It looks like here, Amy Elizabeth has asked Dr. Ruth. I love that. That's really helpful that we can get in there and see the comments that are really needing to be answered. So, Mr. Folsom, what a cute name. or my Folsom. Okay. Folsom is a cute name, but sadly, he's got aggressive soft tissue sarcoma. She needs to stop the growth or preferably kill and shrink it fast. He's super healthy and happy. Oh, that's wonderful. And look at this protocol.
It's fantastic.
So she's doing a keto diet, which is great. We want to reduce any sugars, starches, high starch vegetables, no grains. That's perfect. She's doing some B vitamins, high THC. Oh, that's fantastic. Black seed oil, mushrooms, perfect. Pre and probiotic milk thistle, artisamin, garcinia. Oh my word, she knows all the secrets. Zeolites and diatomaceous earth for detox. That's just amazing. So it looks like she can get her fingers under there. So yeah, I can see the cyst going on. What's your recommendation?
The one thing,
Folsom.
yeah, the one thing she didn't recommend is topical. So she did say that she has them on the THC, the RSO. I would also add the topical treatment that you see there. In addition, diet, do that glacier peak test, eliminate anything that he's sensitive to, and, fresh whole foods.
Yeah. She didn't mention food, did she?
No. Well, keto, fully balanced keto diet.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to assume that that's either raw or cooked.
Yeah.
So, Amy, if you're feeding raw, I would suggest that you try lightly cooked to help get those nutrients in Folsom, and then when you process it, make sure it's processed really, really well, that it's almost a mush, so he can get that. He can use those nutrients more readily. They're easily absorbed that way. And I don't know that if you know that dogs don't have the digestive enzyme cellulose, which is the enzyme that breaks down vegetable matter. So when you feed a vegetable to your pet, sometimes you see it come out the other end, but which is fine, that's insoluble fiber. But in order to get those nutrients out of it, you're going to want to chop it up really, really small, even emulsify it when you feed it on a regular basis. And treats are fine, like carrots or even green beans. Green beans are so overused that some dogs have some sensitivities. So there's all kind of great stuff. If you have access to jicama, it is a prebiotic which feeds the probiotics in your gut. So it makes your probiotics nice and happy, which make you nice and happy. So I highly recommend jicama. It's a Mexican, I don't know, it's a vegetable, I guess. And it's kind of like a big water chestnut. It's delicious in hummus. I just go down rabbit holes. Sorry.
The other thing that I just thought of too is dandelion tea. Dandelion has some anti-cancer properties to it. So that's something that can be easily incorporated.
Yes. There's all kind of great tinctures and stuff with dandelion. And speaking of dandelion, here's another rabbit hole, almost literally. So when you're walking your pet and you see these wonderfully manicured lawns, those are the lawns that are using pesticides.
Yeah.
And
fertilizer
So I usually, when I'm walking Hazel, I look for the lawns that have dandelions, because I know those are the ones that that haven't been treated. And because they're so low and they sniff, gets into their nasal passages. And remember what we said earlier about when you sniff chemicals, it goes straight into your bloodstream. So do your best, especially with dogs with cancer, autoimmune issues. I mean, just do your best to try to avoid the lawns that are chemically treated. Okay, so we got 10 more minutes. Let's move on to Krista's question about the safest, cleanest parasite detox for dogs. What's your suggestion, Melissa?
I actually responded to this one
Oh,
this
did you?
morning. Yeah, I did. But my suggestion is number one, I like to use organic raw pumpkin seeds as a preventative. And I make sure that I test my dog for parasites at least yearly or when needed. If there's a change in, his bowel movements, that might be a good time to test as well. You can test from home as well. I provided a link in the comments to
Okay.
affordable pet labs where you just send off a sample and they provide the results to you. Now, if I did the test and the results came back that he was positive for parasites, I would not hesitate to seek the vet's advice at that point and get rid of them, as soon as possible.
Yeah, yeah. And heartworms are a big deal. I don't have Hazel on heartworm medication because she does have autoimmune or immune system issues since the leptospirosis. And so I have her tested every 3 months. And I have her on dandelion and hawthorn, which helps the heart.
Yeah.
That's a supplement. But my recommendation, number one recommendation for Krista is a pup or cat with a healthy immune system is not desirable to any of the parasites, including fleas and ticks and mosquitoes, where the heartworms come from. So that's my number one recommendation, which means fresh food, which means no kibble.
Yep. That's the first line of defense for sure.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Anything you'd like to add?
No, it was great talking to you. You can find me on Facebook under Empowered Pet Health Coaching, or my website is empoweredpet.com.
Okay. Well, I think we'll wrap it up. We've got several other questions. Oh, do you mind if we go through these? Because there's one right here that I feel like we need to get to. So colloidal silver. What's your thoughts on colloidal silver?
I use it. I use it topically on my pet. If he had recently, I found a tick on him and had a little bit of a scab there, so I've been putting colloidal silver topically on him. I don't use it regularly though for anything, but if my pet would get sick, I think it's okay to incorporate it in small amounts.
I agree. After Hazel had her leptospirosis, the antibiotics blew out her immune system. I mean, they saved her life, but she was just had no gut bacteria left, and she just kept getting reoccurring skin infections after antibiotic use. And after a little while, I'm like, Delora, you know what to do? Stop.
Yeah.
So, increased the probiotics and increased the prebiotic food and put colloidal silver on her sores. Some people do take it internally as well. Yes. I haven't read much about it, so I'm going to just scroll on past this one. Okay, so Anna has the sweetest Luke. Look at that. Yeah. Oh my goodness. So we want his name, and he has allergies.
More allergies.
Talked about, and he's on Apoquel. It seems to help, but not all the time. He was taking Bravecto for flea control and has stopped. Yeah, a good move to pull the Bravecto off. There is a warning on the flea and tick oral medications that talks about if your pet needs to be healthy in order to take those medications. So be careful of that. And we've talked about what to do with allergies for sure. Yeah. See what's bothering him for sure. Chill the itch. And you can do all this. And what's great about a holistic approach is you can do all this while your pet is on the Apoquel. Mm-hmm. You want to keep him. Our number one approach is to relieve the pet's pain, their pain points. So keep them on the Apoquel. We want to see perhaps our recommendation is to keep them on the Apoquel and follow your vet's advice. But hopefully down the line, you can remove that medicine and his immune system will be able to take care of itself. And then we also recommend the Ease and Soothe. This stuff is a topical. And we were talking about this for the cancer. It's perfect for allergies as well. And then the Ease, the CBD oil will help with pain and inflammation. Okay, well, you can also get mushrooms there by themselves. Where is my bottle of mushrooms? So I take Clarity myself.
Yeah, nice.
Because I lose my words all the time. I did okay. I didn't mix up my words too bad this time. So
great.
Tell us again. Oh, another thing. I just keep remembering stuff. I'm sorry, guys.
Okay.
Let's see. We want to talk about, there is a, on Thursday, November the 15th, Dr. Ruth is going to have a webinar, recruiting more holistic pet health coaches. And if you have a calling and a burning passion for pet health, and we need you to come, you need to join us, because we have a lot of work to do. If you are on our Facebook page, that is the Holistic Pet Health Group, some of the responses in there, it's like, oh, we need to help these people.
Yeah.
So please join us. And if you sign up after listening to this webinar, you'll get $500 off of the tuition. And the tuition is, my chats keep popping up. Sorry about that. The tuition is, we have payment plans, and Dr. Ruth has pretty much shared her 30 years of vet knowledge. She shared her intellectual property, and we, as a graduate, you are an ambassador of her program to help all the pets. So it is well worth it. It's life-changing. It is it's amazing just to see the success in your own pets' lives, and you can actually apply it to your own life and hopefully feel better yourself. So, Melissa, it's been a treat. I probably talked more than you did. So.
That's okay. I had fun.
Great. So tell us again where we can reach you.
Yep, I'm on Facebook, Empowered Pet Health Coaching, or you can find me on my website, empoweredpet.com.
Okay, fantastic. It doesn't look like we got any chats in, so we'll just end the call at 11, Central Time, 11:57, and join Dr. Ruth. She'll be joining us again next week for her regular weekly meeting, and don't miss it, because she's always got all kind of great nuggets to share. And thank you so much for joining us. If you have stayed with us to this point, that means you need to sign up.
Just do it.
Just do it. Thank you so much. And
Thank you.
so enjoyed talking to you, Melissa. Take care.
Same. You too. Bye.
Bye.